In diagram 2, we're going to stack a second, and a third. And what this is going to give us is some add 9 voicings coming right out of the scale. We're going to start out with just the left hand, but we're going to change things. You'll see why. I'm in diagram 2, so I'm playing from low to high, A, B, C sharp, E. If I play that over the jam track that has the A in the bass, it's a beautiful add 9 chord because I've got 1, 2, 3, 5, right? Beautiful sound. Now, I explained this back in volume 1 that if you're dealing with some of these chord structures that are typical, like an add 9 or add 4, something where you can move it through the scale, your theory, your diatonic harmony theory, will serve you in helping you see these patterns. So if I look at this chord and I say, okay, it's an add 9 chord, and this is going to be a little bit of review. I have an A add 9, I'm in the key of E, so where else will I have an add 9 chord? Well, I'm going to have it off the 5. Well, that's impossible to play with one hand. So if I want to capture all 4 voices at once, it makes sense for me to start off and play and just move up, and I have my B add 9. Then what happens when I move up to the next note in the scale? I get a beautiful C sharp minor add 9. Diagram 2, because of the nature of these intervals, is simply add 9 voicings out of the key of E, and you have the root as the lowest tone. So the root position, add 9 chords, and you're just moving up. So these will be useful. Here we go back to this issue of, well, what if I can't play all of these at once? Can't do the stretch. Well, you could play the adjacent strings and just move through them that way. Okay, I'll give you exercise so that you can see this information. Let's take any note out of the key of E. Let's take the D sharp. So you go up, I want you to play the D sharp on the 4th string with your first finger. What's the next note? If you're ascending, it's going to be an E. I want you to see it. Remember how I told you, don't move your hand, make your eyes do the work. When you see that E, put your first finger on it. What's the next note? F sharp. What's the next note? G sharp. Do it again and go D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp. And just say it and look at the notes. And once you see them, then try doing it that way, where you play the lower 3 strings with your fretting hand, then you tap the higher note, or have these already in place because you're going. Now, what am I doing? I'm playing seconds here, right? If you're doing a second, and a third, then you have to keep track of the interval on the top string. So let's do this. Let's start on B. Okay, I don't want you to look at diagram 2 now. Where is B on the 4th string? Your hand stays on your leg until you see it. When you see it, you grab it. Then go through and play with each one of your fingers. Now go up a second onto the next string. See, and you should start seeing these patterns from the previous lessons. Okay, I've got these 2 notes. I can play with various fingerings, blah, 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 right? Go up another second. Okay, I already recognize that. Now go up a third. A working knowledge on the neck is really my goal. I want you to get to where you can see this neck and it doesn't have any dimly lit areas, where you can think along the fret axis, along the string axis, diagonally, stack intervals, because remember, on the guitar, we have these intervals. We know that on the 3rd and the 4th strings, if I play a minor second, that's what it's going to look like. If I play a major second, so on, so on, so on. Okay? All right, so this is diagram 2. You know the drill. I'm going to move quickly through these because we got a lot of structures to cover. And if you're starting to get bored because you went through volume 1, well, I got some bad news for you. I'm just getting started because there is so much information here. This is a reference course. I want to set it up as such. And this is something you just go back, you study, spend some time on what you learned, go back, study. So don't think you're going to learn all of this in one sitting or in a month or in a year or in 10 years. This is long term.